Hi guys, welcome back to TOEFL with Juva. A lot of you guys have asked me, Juva, can you make a video where you solve task 3 in TOEFL speaking? So here it is. Today I answer a question for task 3 in TOEFL speaking that you can find in the ETS practice test. First, I'm going to tell you what task 3 is about and what you need to do to get a high score, and after that I'm going to answer the question exactly as I would do it in the TOEFL. Let's get started. Let's first have a look at the task. What does task 3 look like? In task 3 in TOEFL speaking, you first read an academic text. The passage explains an abstract concept or a theory. After that, you listen to an academic lecture. The lecturer elaborates on this concept or theory by providing concrete details. This means that both the reading and the listening talk about the same topic, but they do it in a different way. Your task is to summarize both passages and to combine the information from both. You have 30 seconds to prepare your answer and 60 seconds to speak. Task 3 in TOEFL speaking is especially challenging for 3 reasons. First, you need to understand the concept or theory, and this can be quite challenging. Second, you need to combine the information from the reading and the listening, which can be quite difficult. And third, you need to do that in only a few seconds. Let's go on with my tips. What do you need to do in order to get a high score in task 3 in TOEFL speaking? You must give a well-structured answer that addresses all important points. How can you do that? The first thing you need to do is take good notes. In task 3, you get points for presenting the information concisely. And this means that in your answer, you should not include all the information that you can find in the reading and in the listening. Rather, you must talk about the key points of both passages. And it will be a lot easier for you to figure out the important information and to talk about the key points if you take good notes. Always remember that in TOEFL speaking, you only have 60 seconds to give your answer. You don't have time to search for the important information in your notes. And this means that you must take notes in a way that allows you to give an amazing answer immediately. If you have watched my video about how to take notes in TOEFL speaking, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched this video yet, check it out. In this video, I tell you my note-taking strategies for each task in TOEFL speaking. You can find the link to this video in the description below. Let's go on with tip number 2. Use a template. Guys, a template is your lifesaver. If you have this template in your head when you take the TOEFL, this means that you won't need to think about how to start your sentences. Don't forget that in TOEFL speaking, you only have 30 seconds to prepare your answer and 60 seconds to speak. This is not enough time to think about how you want to start your sentences. You need this time to think about the key points that you want to address. Therefore, use a template. It saves you time, it makes you more confident because you know when you go into TOEFL speaking that you have something in your head that you can rely on, and it helps you get a better TOEFL speaking score. If you need a template for TOEFL speaking, have a look at my video about that. In this video, I show you my template that I created for TOEFL speaking, and you can also download the template there. You can find the link to the video in the description below. Let's go on with tip number 3. Structure your answer. In order to get a high score in task 3, it's important that you deliver a well-structured answer. I highly recommend using this structure here. First, you start with the topic of the article and you talk about the definition the article gives. After that, you provide a detail, but of course only if there is one. Then you talk about the speaker's topic and you talk about the speaker's examples. And in the end, you provide a conclusion. You can find exactly this structure in my TOEFL speaking template. And by the way, this is one reason why a speaking template is so amazing. If you memorize the speaking template before taking the TOEFL, you will have this structure in your head and you won't forget it. Finally, let's get to tip number 4. Use a broad range of vocabulary. Guys, in task 3 in TOEFL speaking, you also get points if you use a lot of vocabulary. For example, use linking words such as further, consequently, and also use synonyms. For example, do not always use the verb to say. Try to use different verbs such as to state, to point out, and so on. Now, let's have a look at the first task 3 in the ETS practice test. You can find a link to this test in the description below. What is this task about? The passage talks about revealing coloration and defines this concept. And in the lecture, the professor gives 2 examples for revealing coloration. She talks about 2 different animals that use revealing coloration and she describes how they make use of that. The task asks you to explain the concept of revealing coloration by using the 2 examples. So this means that you should talk about how the peanut bug and the morpho butterfly use revealing coloration to defend themselves against predators. And by doing this, you explain the concept of revealing coloration. I'm now going to give my answer to this question. I'm going to talk a bit faster now because this is how I would do it in the TOEFL. And by the way, you can download my answer in the description below. The article discusses revealing coloration and defines it as a defense strategy some animals use to surprise or confuse predators by suddenly revealing bright-colored parts of their body. The lecturer provides 2 examples for revealing coloration. For instance, when a predator attacks the peanut bug, the latter suddenly opens its back wings, which are sprinkled with bright colors. This surprises the predator and provides the peanut bug with an opportunity to escape. Further, the lecturer provides an example of the morpho butterfly, which, in case of an attack, flies away flapping its wings that reflect sunlight. Due to only being able to see flashes of light, the bird has difficulties following the morpho, so that the latter usually manages to save itself. Consequently, based on the information in both passages, the peanut bug and the morpho butterfly use revealing coloration to defend themselves against predators. Now, let's analyze my answer. I gave a fully developed answer. Let's have a look at the structure I used. I used the structure that you can find in my speaking template. Since I memorized the speaking template before, I knew which structure to use, so I didn't have to think about that, and this made it quite easy for me to deliver a well-structured answer in a short amount of time. First, I introduced the topic, which is revealing coloration, and I defined this concept. Then I talked about what the professor said. The professor gave 2 examples of revealing coloration. She talked about the peanut bug and the morpho butterfly. And I used these 2 examples to explain the concept of revealing coloration. And this is exactly what the task asks you to do. The task asks you to explain the concept of revealing coloration by using the 2 examples. Finally, let's have a closer look at the vocabulary I used. First, let's start with linking words. I use different linking words in my answer, such as further or consequently. Also, I paraphrased the information given in both passages because I wanted to show TOEFL that I have a broad range of vocabulary. Of course, I only paraphrased information where this was possible. So let's have a look at how I did that. For example, the passage says that the peanut bug uses revealing coloration to get away from a predator. And I said that revealing coloration provides the peanut bug with an opportunity to escape. So I say exactly the same thing as the passage. However, I do it in a different way. I do it with different vocabulary. If I say that the use of revealing coloration provides the peanut bug with an opportunity to escape, I mean that the peanut bug can get away from a predator. Further, instead of to be attacked, I used attacks and in case of an attack. Of course, I also use the verb attack when I say attacks, but I use it in a different way. I use the active tense, whereas the passage used the passive tense. So although it's the same verb, I use it in a different way. I paraphrased it. Try to do that whenever this is possible. And guys, this is really important. I said whenever this is possible. Of course, you should not paraphrase everything because some words cannot be paraphrased. For example, as you can see in my answer, I used the expression bright colors. Or I also used the word predator that was given in the passage. And if you have a closer look at my answer, I also used more complex grammar. For example, I said due to only being able to. And this is what will get you a high score in task 3 in TOEFL Speaking. That's it. This is how you answer task 3 in TOEFL Speaking. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or a video wish, tell me about that in the comments below and I would love to see you here next time. Bye bye!